Okay, excuse the mess back here. I'm getting ready for the Philly show. I'm actually going to be cutting a promo for that. But let's see. We got some non-sport sets and some stars and stuff that I got to price out. Cool stuff. I mean, this could be its own video right here, but we're we're gonna jump right into it. We got 1983 TCMA, 50 years of Yankees, Mickey Mantle with an autograph, grade of a 9. Pretty cool. I'm glad that they framed it the way that they did, and it's not all loose and shaky on the inside, because I could see this being an odd, I could see this being an issue with them. So, anyway, so we got that. Very cool. We've got another one from the same set of the Mick, but with an autograph grade of 10. So pretty neat. These are like 3.5 by, no, 2, I don't know. They're odd size, but still pretty cool. They fit in the, they do the oversized holders for these. Don't know exact measurements of the card, but they're oddballs. So here we have the Nolan Ryan, what is this? The 1990 historic 69 Mets, kind of like 69 Mets set, and it's autographed. And we have a auto grade of 10, Susan Rini. And next up we have, this is where I get a little upset. We got the Seaver, okay? And you can see the autograph's like a little light there. Maybe it's like a little light there. And I was thinking I was going to get a 9 or a 10 on the auto grade. We got a 7. That's terrible. That is terrible. Because if you go on eBay, and maybe I'll slide some things in here, and I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to do that. I am going to put some screenshots of what PSA 7 auto grades look like. And again, we had this issue the last time with the Tony Gwynn. There's no way that this is a 7. There's just no way. It's embarrassing. So
he gives man instincts. He gives you this extraordinary gift, and then what does he do? I swear, for his own amusement, his own private cosmic gag reel, he sets the rules in opposition. It's the goof of all time.
I feel like there's an old story about, teachers grading papers, and they just, they stand at the bottom of a staircase and they just label each stair like a letter grade, and whatever your grades, how they toss the paper on and just wherever the paper lands on that stair, that's what you get for a grade. So feeling that's like the case with at least that. So here we have a 1989 Perez Steel Celebration Hank Aaron with an auto grade of 9. I would agree with that. I think this is a great, out of all the people that do the artwork in the 80s and 90s, I am definitely a fan of Perez, Dick Perez. There's also another guy who goes by the last name of, I don't know his first name, but he did some 3,000 hit club and strikeout club, and he didn't do a ton of them. I feel like they are, I'm trying to remember the other guy's name that did like the 500 home run club. He's different from the guy that did the 500 home run club pieces. I'm drawing a blank on the guy's name, but so for the artwork, I'm definitely much more a fan of Perez. Oh, it was Ron Lewis. So here's an example of Ron Lewis. So we have a Mickey Mantle here with an auto grade of 9. And look, this is what I don't get. So you have a 9 here, and I'm not saying that this is not a 9, but you could see there's a little bit of like lightness there, right? Everything else is pretty strong, right? Okay, it gets a 9. How does this get a 7? 9, 7. I don't know. Here's a rare one because, unfortunately, yeah. Anyways, here's a rare one of Roy Campanella with an autograph grade of 10. Obviously, this was like later on in life. I believe he had a stroke, and this is what he had to. This was the signature pretty much for this set. But to get a 10 auto grade on this is pretty tough. So definitely happy with that. Next, we have a cool Papa Bell with an autograph grade of 10. Again, I love that artwork, and I love just look at the detail on the bottom for the action. It's just this was a really great set. The celebration set, and they're also they're individually serial numbered on the back. So fun stuff. It is oversized. Like, I know there's like a big conversation these days about people collecting oversized and if it's not standard size, but I think the oversized stuff, or the stuff that's not standard size, has really started to pick up, and people just don't care. They're like, you know what, I'll make my own box to store it. Like, that's the issue, so this came out of the same set, but this is going in, so that stuff's all going to be for sale, this pile right here. Okay, most likely going to be in my eBay store, listed later today, but this is going into the PC. So we got the Perez steel, and this is what I meant as far as like just the different artwork with the artists. I mean, you got Dick Perez over here, you got Ron Lewis over here. I don't know. I'm definitely more of a fan of this, not just because I was always a fan of this this set. It's cool whenever you come across one. They don't come that often. And I had one of these before. It's probably one of my older mail days or PSA reveals. I think it had an auto grade of 9, and I ended up selling it, and now I have a 10. So this is PC. Here we have a Ted Williams from the same set. Love the fact that he's just, probably watching one go out. And it's just I just think this is a great artist rendition of Ted Williams, it's artistic rendition. So we got that, and then let's see. This came in the mail. Wait, let's go we'll go with a couple cheapies here. So here is an 84 traded Dave Kingman IP in person signed. Has like 440 something home runs, I believe, career. And I'm looking for an 87 tops of this, because I'm working on like the key guys for 87 tops. I know he wasn't on the 87 team. Like, they ended up, I think after 86, Kingman was done and wasn't signed. I think he was like one of those guys that were blackballed. And so I'm looking for an 87, because I have the Canseco, the McGuire. I have the 87 tops traded Reggie Jackson. I have Terry Steinbach. I have a lot of key guys. It would have been pretty cool to see if like they just even kept them on as an extra DH or something like that. But obviously the A's were making moves. They got Reggie in his last year in 87, which was pretty cool. But just kind of like one of those what ifs if those mashers just hung around. Because at some point I think they ended up picking up like Don Baylor. It's like, why couldn't Dave Kingman, take the place of Don Baylor? But here we go. Here's Dave Stewart's first Topps card on the A's, and this is actually a 2000, I think 2 or 3 Topps originals. It is serial numbered, and let's see, it's out of 171. I got a really good deal on this. The guy, I think he listed for like $30. It's got the seal here. Now you got to be careful with these cards with some of the higher name players like Aaron and Mays. There's people that took original cards, forged the signatures, pulled commons, like common players or lesser known players out of the Topps originals, and then inserted the bad ones. So you just got to be careful out there. But this is definitely, the seal's tight, and obviously this is Dave Stewart's autograph, and I don't know if people are going to do too much work to forge this, but this is in my opinion, this is absolutely good. So not worried about that, but that's cool. Let's go in the PC. This is pretty cool. This is I have the Topps, the 88 Topps version of the team leaders, and this is pretty cool because this is the Flair. I didn't have this one. I had this on my radar for a while. I think 3 or 4 years ago when McGuire, they were doing the people started speculating autograph values and card values going up based on documentaries because the whole thing with Jordan, right? So they did I think one that kind of fizzled a little bit. It wasn't like a great documentary, but a lot of people were speculating on McGwire's autographs and his rookie cards, and they were going up along with everything else during COVID. But they were going way up, and the price on this card right here was through the roof. I think I paid $100 for this. Now this, as you can see, it's on a vintage plaque. This is Stacks of Plaques, and Stacks of Plaques, as long as the cards weren't swapped out with forged cards, it was a good company. They were reputable back in the day. And sometimes if you see stuff with like, Mickey Mantle or Ted Williams, that was Stacks of Plaques, the autographs are good as long as they weren't swapped out, and people mixing gold inserts and Stacks of Plaque stuff with bad autographs. So you always have to be careful. But this is like clearly playing days, early McGwire signature, and Canseco's signature really never veered off. So very happy to get this because I do have the tops, and there's really not much left. I'm going to do a personal collection of my A sign stuff soon. And you're going to see, like, I have most of those cards from 85 to like 89, which is pretty cool. So next up, we're so lopsided with A stuff right now. We got to do red. So I've been looking for one of these for a while at a good price. Again, during COVID, people were just, pushing stuff way up. I mean, I think there was one guy that's got these cards with auto grades of 10 and whatever. I mean, this one doesn't have an auto grade on it, but the auto's, it's really strong on it. And it is a set pulled autograph, so it's certified by Topps. Then it was graded by Beckett, and the card got a 9. And this guy's got well over 400 home runs too, and he's a masher, so he was always a threat for the long ball. And I think in today's game, he probably, they would definitely use his services today because with the low batting average and the high home run count, he would definitely be making tons of money today for sure. Next up, so these two are going to be pretty sweet. So we have both from the same year. We got Reginald Martinez. So this is I won this off of 4 Sharp Corners on open auction. It is this obviously went through the verification, but it's a 1970 Topps Reggie Jackson, just a really clean signature with an auto grade of 10. And the card is really nice. I mean, it's X, X plus, but it's got good centering. I started focusing more on, a card that might be centered if it's vintage in-person signed. Sometimes I would get a good deal if the card was like way off, but I think there's so much more availability now because a lot of these guys have been signing for that many more years. I mean, I started collecting in-person autographs on vintage cards back in like 2004. So things have changed. Back in the day, nobody would want to ruin this card with a signature, quote unquote ruin. But I think in today's world, in this situation, it enhances this kind of card. So, and people are even going higher than that. They're looking for high grade cards with the highest pop report, with the highest card grade and auto grade. So we're just crazy over here. Now, speaking of crazy, look at this. This is going to go with my, with the roses that I just picked up and whatever. And I really wanted one of these. I mean, this looks like, this is a 1970 Topps Super. And you got this descriptions, 14-time All-Star, 5-time World Series champ, and then Hall of Fame 93. Very, very clean, auto grade of 10. Not too happy that it's got the trading card and it doesn't have the actual recognition, but clearly this is an original and in very good shape 1970 Topps Super Reggie Jackson. And it just looks like, I mean, and look at little foreshadowing there, facade, right? But that's pretty cool. Actually, it's really cool. I just love how the green and the white pop, and Reggie's probably like, dude, what are you doing, man? I'm just trying to swing 7 bats over my shoulder right now because at some point in 71, I'm going to meet up with Doc Ellis and just launch a home run. And but anyways, it's really cool. You even got a little green bat there too, which just adds to the color. So very, very cool. I'm going to end it here for this mail day, and obviously all that stuff was PC. Just want to say thanks for hanging out, and we'll catch you all in the next one.